Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a critical topic in cybersecurity: ransomware. We'll cover what it is, the different types, and how these attacks unfold. Stick around to learn how to protect yourself and stay safe online. Please like, subscribe, and comment to help the channel get going. I'll respond to every comment. Ransomware is a type of malicious software designed to block access to your data by encrypting it or exfiltrating it and threatening to release it publicly until a ransom is paid, usually in cryptocurrency. It typically infiltrates systems through phishing emails, malicious downloads, or by exploiting system vulnerabilities. Once attackers have access to your computer, they can quickly deploy the ransomware, locking users out of their data and causing significant disruptions and financial losses. One common type of ransomware attack is encrypting your data. This means you can't access your files or systems until you pay the ransom. The attacker encrypts your data and possesses the only key that can unlock it. A notorious example of this is the WannaCry attack in 2017, which affected over 200,000 computers across 150 countries. WannaCry exploited a vulnerability in the Windows operating system, demonstrating how critical it is to keep your software up to date. Another method is referred to as double extortion ransomware, where attackers not only encrypt your data, but also exfiltrate it. They then threaten to release your sensitive information publicly unless you pay the ransom. The Maze ransomware group popularized this method, combining data encryption with the threat of leaking stolen data. This adds an additional layer of pressure on victims, making it more likely they will pay the ransom. The global number of malware attacks reached 6.06 billion in 2023, which marked a 10% increase compared to the previous year. This is a significant increase considering the 6 billion plus number. The cost of ransomware attacks in 2023 exceeded $30 billion, an increase of 15%. This surge underscores the importance of understanding and combating ransomware threats. It's not going away if attackers are profiting from this activity. You may be wondering where attackers get their tools to carry out these attacks. Attackers obtain ransomware tools from various sources. They can purchase pre-made ransomware kits on dark web marketplaces. These marketplaces offer a range of malicious software for a price, making it accessible to even low-skilled attackers. Another common method is Ransomware-as-a-Service, or RaaS. This model allows experienced cybercriminals to lease out ransomware to others, significantly lowering the entry barrier for cybercrime. An example of this is the Revel ransomware, which operates on a RaaS model, providing affiliates with ransomware tools in exchange for a share of the ransom payments. Skilled attackers may also write their own ransomware code, tailoring it to their specific targets. Custom ransomware allows for sophisticated and highly targeted attacks, which can be more difficult to detect and defend against. Let's dive into the steps of a ransomware attack, from initial access to the final impact. Ransomware typically gains initial access through phishing emails, where attackers send deceptive messages to trick you into clicking malicious links or downloading infected attachments. A notable example is the Emotet malware, which often delivers ransomware via phishing emails. These emails might look like they come from trusted sources, making it essential to verify the authenticity of unexpected emails and attachments. Another method is malicious downloads, where ransomware is disguised as legitimate software. For instance, attackers might create fake software updates or cracked software downloads that contain ransomware. Always download software from trusted and verified sources. Attackers can also exploit unpatched software vulnerabilities to gain unauthorized access. This was the case with the WannaCry attack, which exploited a vulnerability in the Windows operating system known as Eternal Blue. Regularly updating your software and applying security patches can help protect against such vulnerabilities. Once inside, the ransomware executes. This often involves using scripts like PowerShell or exploiting software bugs to start the encryption process without triggering security alarms. PowerShell scripts are particularly favored for their ability to run commands and scripts directly in memory, bypassing traditional antivirus defenses. It's crucial to monitor and restrict the use of scripting tools like PowerShell to prevent unauthorized execution. To maintain access, the ransomware installs itself to ensure it starts every time the system boots up. This can involve modifying registry keys, creating scheduled tasks, or installing services. For example, the RaaS ransomware modifies the registry to establish persistence, ensuring it continues to run even after a system reboot. Using endpoint detection and response, EDR tools, can help detect and mitigate such persistent threats. Ransomware often attempts to gain higher system privileges by exploiting vulnerabilities or using stolen credentials to escalate from a standard user to an administrator. This can involve exploiting local privilege, escalation vulnerabilities, or using tools like Mimikatz to steal credentials from memory. Implementing the principle of least privilege, POLP, and regularly auditing user permissions can help minimize the risk of privilege escalation. To evade detection, ransomware employs various techniques, including obfuscating code, disabling security software, and deleting system logs. The Sodinokibi ransomware, for example, disables Windows Defender and other security tools to avoid detection. It's important to use a multi-layered security approach, combining antivirus, EDR, and behavior-based detection to catch evasive malware. Some ransomware variants capture login credentials using keylogging, credential dumping, or exploiting vulnerabilities to harvest passwords. Attackers can use tools like Lazane or Mimikatz to dump passwords from memory, making it easier to move laterally within the network. Implementing multi-factor authentication, MFA, can significantly reduce the risk of credential theft and misuse. The ransomware performs reconnaissance to understand the network layout, identify target files, and locate backups or other valuable data. This can involve scanning the network for open ports, connected devices, and shared folders. Network segmentation and robust access controls can limit the scope of reconnaissance and protect sensitive data. Ransomware attempts to move laterally within the network to infect other machines, using techniques like exploiting SMB protocol vulnerabilities, stolen credentials, or leveraging remote desktop protocol. The NotPetya ransomware, for instance, used the Eternal Blue exploit to spread rapidly across networks. Regularly auditing network shares and using strong authentication methods for remote access can help prevent lateral movement. The ransomware identifies and collects valuable files to encrypt, and some variants exfiltrate data to use for double extortion. This step often involves scanning for specific file types, such as documents, databases, and backups, to maximize the impact of the attack. Implementing data loss prevention, DLP tools, can help monitor and protect sensitive data from being exfiltrated. If performing double extortion, the ransomware exfiltrates data to an external server using methods like HTTP, FTP, or cloud storage services. Attackers may use encrypted communication channels to securely transfer stolen data to their servers. Monitoring outbound traffic for unusual patterns and using encryption can help protect against data exfiltration. The primary action of ransomware is encrypting files, making them inaccessible to the user. A ransom note is left with instructions on how to pay the ransom to get the decryption key. These notes often include details on how to purchase cryptocurrency, and contact the attackers for payment instructions. It's important to have a response plan in place, including knowing who to contact and how to restore data from backups. Understanding these stages helps you recognize and respond to ransomware attacks more effectively. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into each of these stages and explore how to protect yourself. Please, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below